There's a quiet moment just before the chaos. Sunlight spills across the kitchen floor as 9 pairs of feet thunder down the hallway. Laughter bounces off the farmhouse walls, mixing with the clang of cereal bowls and the rustle of wrapping paper. It's birthday morning in the Waldrop house, but not just any birthday. Today, 6 balloons rise together for 6 little lives born on the same day, 6 years ago, against all odds. It's hard to believe it's been 7 years since America first fell in love with the Waldrops, Eric, Courtney, and their extraordinary family of 11. From the moment their sweet Alabama charm met the staggering reality of sextuplets, the world watched with wide eyes and warm hearts. And now those tiny newborns, they're not so tiny anymore. Blue, Layke, and Tag are swapping toddler toys for baseball gloves, learning to slide into bases with the same energy they once used to tumble off couches. Rawlings, Rayne, and Rivers have discovered the magic of dance, twirling in tutus with wildflower crowns and fearless joy. Their giggles now fill recital halls and dugouts, not just living rooms. Meanwhile, their older brothers, Saylor, Wales, and Bridge, are stepping into new roles. Teenagers now, with deeper voices and wiser eyes, they've gone from diaper duty to life mentors, leading with a quiet strength born from growing up in a family that never stops moving. But behind the smiles and milestones, the Waldrops have faced heartache too, loss, grief, and tough decisions far from the spotlight. Because even in a family this full of life, no year passes without its challenges. And yet through it all, one thing remains unchanged: the Waldrop family's deep devotion to faith, to one another, and to making every single moment, no matter how wild, count. Stay with us because this is the update you've been waiting for.
If you've ever wondered what a birthday party for 6 looks like, just imagine a carnival in full swing, tossed into a living room and sprinkled with glitter and chaos. That's what the Waldrop house felt like this past February as the sextuplets turned 7. Yes, 7! It's a number that feels impossible when you think back to those fragile early days in the NICU when their tiny feet could barely fill the palm of Eric's hand. This year's celebration was loud, bright, and entirely them. There were cupcakes smeared with sprinkles, handmade signs taped to the walls, and a countdown that seemed to start weeks before the big day. Courtney shared the behind-the-scenes magic on Instagram, posting with a laugh, "They ask me 60 times a day when their party is. In this house, it blows in every direction, and you better just hang on." And truly, she means it because every single child, Blue, Layke, Tag, Rawlings, Rayne, and Rivers, brings a different kind of energy, a different beat to this family's rhythm. For the girls, this year was all about sparkle and stage lights. Rawlings, Rayne, and Rivers lit up their 4th annual dance recital in matching orange tutus, their faces full of pride and excitement. It wasn't just about the steps. They were dancing for the sheer joy of it, twirling in unison like sunbeams across the floor. Their bond as sisters is something special, strong, silly, and sweetly unbreakable. The boys, on the other hand, are all grit and go. Blue, Layke, and Tag traded dress shoes for cleats, joining their big brothers on the baseball field. They've embraced the sport with wild enthusiasm, chasing fly balls, sliding into bases, and learning to be part of a team that just so happens to be filled with their best friends and siblings. Watching them play, you see more than just kids learning the rules of the game. You see them learning leadership, confidence, and the kind of brotherhood that only comes from sharing every chapter of life side by side. Even their personalities have started to shine more distinctly. Courtney often shares little glimpses that hint at their uniqueness. Some are wild and daring, others quiet and curious. 2 of the sextuplets, fans noticed, have piercing blue eyes that stand out in family photos, tiny windows into their growing, ever-unfolding stories. And while the sextuplets continue to grow at lightning speed, they haven't outgrown the love of being part of a big, beautiful mess of a family. They play together, fight together, make memories together. Whether it's piling into the van for dance practice, helping out with animals on the family farm, or simply lining up for bedtime hugs, every day is a new opportunity to learn how to share space, time, and love. What's truly touching is how these milestones don't just belong to the children. Courtney and Eric experience them just as deeply. Every school project, every recital, every scraped knee is a reminder of how far they've all come. There's a sacredness to the ordinary in the Waldrop home. The background noise of laughter, the clatter of dinner plates, the chaos of 9 different schedules somehow finding harmony under one roof. It's all part of the magic. 7 years ago, the world watched in awe as this family of 5 expanded into a family of 11 overnight. But today, we watch in wonder at how they've taken each step since with grace, faith, and a whole lot of grit. From tiny feet to big steps, the Waldrop kids are growing up, and every milestone is a testament to the love that surrounds them. And as we turn the page on their 7th year, it's clear the best chapters are still to come.
While the world often marvels at the sextuplets' whirlwind of energy, it's easy to forget that 3 young men have been quietly holding down the fort behind the scenes: Saylor, Wales, and Bridge. These older brothers have grown up in a house where noise is constant, privacy is rare, and helping hands are always needed. And in 2025, each of them is stepping into his own. Let's start with Saylor, the eldest. This year, he turned 16. 16! The boy who once nervously hovered near his newborn siblings in the NICU is now a full-blown teenager, taller, more confident, and quietly dependable. On Instagram, Courtney described him as an incredible boy, a great role model for all the little ones. And it shows. Whether he's helping load the van for a day of baseball games, comforting a teary younger sibling, or tackling school and chores with that characteristic Waldrop work ethic, Saylor radiates calm maturity. He's the big brother who's grown up with a deep understanding of what it means to share his time, his space, his parents. And now, with a driver's permit likely in hand and new freedoms on the horizon, he's also discovering the delicate dance of becoming his own person while still being a pillar of the family. Then there are the twins, Wales and Bridge, who officially joined the teenage club this year when they turned 13. They may be quieter in the spotlight, but their presence in the family is unmistakable. Courtney's caption from their birthday captured it perfectly: "My double blessing." These two came after a heartbreaking miscarriage, and their bond has always carried a kind of quiet sacredness. Wales and Bridge are known for being inseparable. Whether they're exploring the outdoors, building things together, or helping their younger siblings with homework, they're often side by side, 2 steady forces in the whirlwind of the Waldrop household. As they move through middle school, their unique personalities continue to bloom. One might lean more into sports, while the other prefers quiet creativity, but their shared loyalty to their family remains a constant. And beyond the chores, the activities, and the usual teenage growing pains, these boys are learning the most important lesson of all: how to lead with love. In a family of 11, leadership isn't about being loud. It's about being present. It's about noticing when someone needs help, stepping in without being asked, and choosing kindness when things feel stretched thin. For Saylor, Wales, and Bridge, the role of big brother isn't just about being older. It's about setting the tone. And in a family like the Waldrops, where every day brings new challenges and blessings, these young men are rising to the occasion with quiet strength and hearts full of grace. Their childhood may have been spent in front of cameras, but their journey into manhood is being written with intention, faith, and a fierce love for the family they call home. Amid the joyful birthdays, baseball games, and dance recitals, 2025 also brought a moment that shook the very heart of the Waldrop family, a moment of grief that reminded them and all of us that even the most love-filled homes are not immune to sorrow. In December, Courtney shared a tender and heartbreaking update with her followers. Her beloved father, Jerry Popsie Hill, had passed away. For years, Popsie had been a quiet presence in the family story. He wasn't always front and center, but his impact ran deep. To Courtney, he was more than a father.
He was a guidepost, a steady hand, a reminder of home. In her words, he was the kind of man who didn't need to speak loudly to leave a lasting impression. When she announced his passing, it wasn't just news. It was a wave of emotion that poured from her heart. She posted tributes that painted a picture of a man full of wisdom, faith, and gentle humor. Photos of him with the children, holding their hands, watching their games, laughing in the background, suddenly felt heavier with meaning. For a family as tightly knit as the Waldrops, this loss was deeply personal and deeply felt. The children, especially the older boys who had spent more time with him, grieved in their own quiet ways. Courtney and Eric, meanwhile, found themselves navigating the painful space between honoring a loved one's memory and keeping life steady for 9 children who still needed pancakes, bedtime stories, and hugs. Yet even in the heaviness, Courtney's faith never wavered. She leaned into her beliefs, sharing scripture and words of hope with her community of followers. The outpouring of love from fans was overwhelming. Messages of sympathy, prayers, and stories from people who had watched Popsie's quiet wisdom shine through the screen. Losing a parent is never easy, but for Courtney, the grief came wrapped in gratitude for the years they had, for the legacy he left, and for the quiet lessons he passed on, now living inside each of her children. In a year filled with so much growth and celebration, the passing of Popsie was a gentle but powerful reminder of life's balance, of the beauty in both joy and sorrow. And as the Waldrops move forward, his memory walks with them, etched into every family photo, every quiet moment, and every lesson passed down. It's been a few years now since Sweet Home Sextuplets wrapped its final season, closing the chapter on a show that gave viewers an inside look at one of America's most extraordinary families. When the camera stopped rolling, many fans wondered what would come next for the Waldrops. Would they disappear from the public eye completely? Would life slow down once the spotlight dimmed? The truth is, life didn't slow down, it simply got quieter, more sacred and more rooted in real, everyday moments. Courtney and Eric never set out to become television stars. As Eric once said in an interview, "We didn't go into this wanting to be, I don't even like the word, celebrities." Their goal was always simple, to share the miracle that had unfolded in their lives, to give glory to God, and to maybe, just maybe, encourage others who were walking through hard or uncertain times. And while the show gave viewers front-row seats to the wild and wonderful world of raising 9 kids, including 6 at once, it never captured the whole story. Off-camera, there were private prayers whispered during midnight feedings. There were moments of frustration, exhaustion, and the quiet kind of triumph that never makes it into a season finale. These days, the Waldrops choose what they share and when they share it. Their Instagram page, @GodsDivine9, has become a cozy window into their world, a place where Courtney posts candid snapshots of birthday parties, baseball tournaments, school mornings, and the occasional dance recital meltdown. Fans get to witness the same love, the same faith, and the same chaos, just without the camera crew. They've also continued to grow their business, Robinson and Waldrop Landscaping LLC, maintaining their roots in Albertville, Alabama, and raising their children in the same community where it all began. It's a return to basics, but it's also a powerful choice to live life deliberately, away from scripted arts and retakes. But make no mistake, the Waldrops are still very much together and very much the same. The laughter in their homes still spills into the hallways. The chores still get divided among many hands. The van still gets packed like a game of Tetris every time they leave the house. And the values they stood for on TLC, faith, resilience, and family, still guide their every step. In a world obsessed with fame, it's refreshing to watch a family choose connection over attention, intention over performance. The Waldrops may no longer be on our weekly screens, but their story continues, just as real and inspiring as ever. Because for this family, the best parts of life were never about being seen. They were always about being together.
When people hear sextuplets, their minds often jump to numbers: 6 bottles, 6 high chairs, 6 backpacks, and a calendar so full it practically needs its own assistant. But inside the Waldrop home, those numbers have always been eclipsed by something far greater: heart. Every day in the Waldrop house is a miracle in motion, not because everything goes smoothly, because it never does, but because love holds it all together when everything else unravels. It's in the way Courtney juggles early mornings with late night laundry, in how Eric manages the demands of work and fatherhood without ever losing his laugh, and in how the kids, 9 unique souls, learn to lean on each other like pieces of one living puzzle. There's something almost poetic about their routine. Mornings are filled with the shuffle of little feet, the clink of cereal bowls, and the occasional "Where are my shoes?" screamed across the house. Afternoons echo with piano practice, baseball cleats on gravel, and ballet slippers forgotten in the car. And evenings? That's when the quiet miracles happen. Homework finished around the kitchen table, tiny prayers whispered in unison, a line of sleeping children, each one a reminder of how faith turned the impossible into reality. What sets the Waldrops apart isn't just the size of their family, it's the strength of their foundation. Every decision they make, every storm they weather is anchored in faith. It's not performative, it's not scripted, it's lived out in the daily grind, in the mess, the noise, the joy. Courtney had said time and again that she's not superhuman. She's just a mom, walking in grace, trying to do her best with what God has given her. And Eric, quiet and steady, reflects the same humble strength. Together, they lead not with perfection, but with presence. In this season of their lives, it's not about grand gestures or picture-perfect moments. It's about the sacred in the ordinary. A kiss on the forehead before school, a giggle over burnt cookies, a spontaneous dance party in the living room when the power goes out. Because in the Waldrop household, joy isn't a destination. It's a daily choice, a choice they make together every single day. As we step back from the laughter, the birthday candles, the baseball fields, and the kitchen table full of homework and half-eaten snacks, what lingers most about the Waldrop family isn't just the size of their household, it's the depth of their love. This past year has been a breathtaking journey of highs and lows. We've watched 6 remarkable children celebrate their 7th birthday with sprinkles and shrieks of joy. We've seen them chase new dreams, whether on stage in glittering tutus or on dusty baseball diamonds. We've witnessed Saylor stepping into young adulthood with grace, and twins Wells and Bridge beginning their teenage years with the same strength and gentleness that's always defined them. We felt the sorrow as Courtney shared the loss of her father, Popsie, a quiet pillar of love in their lives. We've seen how the family leaned into their faith during that dark moment, letting grief and gratitude exist side by side. And through it all, we've seen what it means to live with intention when the cameras go away. The Waldrops chose authenticity over fame, presence over perfection. They didn't just fade out of view. They invited us into a quieter, more meaningful chapter, one where bedtime stories matter more than social media likes, and where faith isn't just spoken, it's lived. If there's one lesson to take from the Waldrops, it's this: you don't have to have it all together to be blessed. You just need to show up, love deeply, and trust the process. Whether you're raising 1 child or 9, trying to hold it all together, or just survive bedtime, there is beauty in the mess, purpose in the chaos, and joy to be found in the smallest, most ordinary moments. So if this family's journey has touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the fame, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Because in the world of the Waldrops, the next chapter is always just around the corner. And trust us, you won't want to miss it.